How are you? Let me hope you are fine. Welcome to our bio session. Today, we want to discuss a topic uh, known as respiration. What did I say? Respiration. You're highly welcome. We'll go straight away to its definition. Respiration is the process by which uh, food substances are chemically broken down in cells to produce energy, water, and carbon dioxide. So respiration is simply burning down food in our bodies of organisms to release energy. That is mainly. But also in the process, other products are produced, that is water and carbon dioxide. If you recall our earlier discussions on digestion, after food has been digested, the next thing is absorption. And when food is being absorbed, it is absorbed when it is in a soluble state to allow it to be transported in the bloodstream. You can imagine if food particles are floating in the blood. So that one does not happen because at the time of absorption, all the food is in insoluble state. So it is carried into the cells. So it's circulated by blood through the body and it goes to the cells. In those cells, it is broken down in the process of respiration to release energy. So that is respiration, simply breaking down of food to release energy in the cells. So, or just in simple terms, it's like food is being burned to release energy. It takes place in organelle called mitochondrion, in plural, mitochondria. What is an organelle? An organelle is a structure within a cell that performs specific functions. You may want to mention some of them: nucleus, nucleolus, centrioles, rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, chloroplast. Those are examples of organelles. So mitochondrion is one of them. So that is the organelle or a site in which respiration occurs. Um, it is also important to know that when when the food substances are broken down, the energy is released bit by bit in small quantities. What is the reason? If it were released all at once, it could burn the cells, it could burn the organism. So it is good that it is released in small amounts. To revisit the structure of a mitochondrion. Mitochondrion is a rod-shaped structure made of outer membrane, inner membrane. The inner membrane has some projections. It is highly folded to form some projections. The projections are known as cristae. It provides surface onto which enzymes are attached. And then the depression part, the spaces are called matrix. They are fluid filled. They are full of fluid. So that is the structure of mitochondria. That is the exact place where respiration takes place to release energy. We have two types of respiration. Aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is a respiration that occurs in presence of oxygen. Aerobic is that which occurs in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic occurs in absence of oxygen. Let's deal with aerobic. Aerobic respiration occurs in two stages or two phases. Phase 1 is called glycolysis. Phase 2 is called Krebs cycle. Glycolysis comes from the word glucose, breakdown of glucose, glycolysis. In glycolysis stage, it occurs outside the mitochondrion. That is, it occurs in the cytoplasm. Where is the cytoplasm? In a cell has the organelles, as we have said. Organelles are found like floating in the cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is like swimming pool of the organelles. So it doesn't occur in the mitochondrion, even though we are saying respiration occurs in the mitochondrion. But glycolysis takes place outside the mitochondrion in the cytoplasm. It occurs in absence of oxygen. Now, because there is no oxygen, the food substances, for example, glucose, is not broken down completely. So remember, we said there are three products which are produced at the end of respiration. The three products are energy, the intended product, of course, energy, water, and carbon dioxide. But in glycolysis, which is phase 1 of aerobic respiration, those three products are not produced. Instead, another substance is produced called pyruvate or pyruvic acid. So, if oxygen is now supplied, then glycolysis phase is closed and it moves to another one called Krebs cycle. Cycle, C-Y-C-L-E. When you hear the word cycle in bio, it means a series of reactions. So in Krebs cycle, the pyruvic acid or pyruvate is further broken down to now release the three products, water, energy, and carbon dioxide. And now Krebs cycle occurs in the mitochondrion. Remember, glycolysis was taking place outside, that is in the cytoplasm. Krebs cycle, oxygen is involved, and there is breakdown of the food substances to release the three products: energy, carbon dioxide, and water. So in the first phase, a small amount of energy is produced in glycolysis, where one glucose molecule produces around 2 ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate, a form in which energy is stored. But in Krebs cycle, large amount of energy is produced. That is, one glucose molecule produces up to 38 molecules of ATP. Anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration is also called fermentation. Now, it is important to note this, that if you understood glycolysis, the first phase of aerobic respiration, you've already understood anaerobic respiration. Why? They are similar. Anaerobic respiration occurs in absence of oxygen. It occurs in cytoplasm. It leads to release of small amount of energy. There is incomplete breakdown of food substance. So, because anaerobic respiration occurs in absence of oxygen, instead of getting the three products, name the three products: energy, carbon dioxide, and water. It produces other products depending on is it occurring in plants or animals. In plants, instead of getting the three products, energy, water, and carbon dioxide, it is producing ethanol or alcohol, small amount of energy, and carbon dioxide in plants. You see that? In animals, it produces small amount of energy and lactic acid. Okay, so you notice that it doesn't produce water, energy, and carbon dioxide. So ethanol in plants and lactic acid in animals. So there is no complete breakdown of substrate in anaerobic respiration. As I said, it is also called fermentation. Now we have fermented milk. I know you are aware. The community where I come from, it is called Mursik. Yes, how do we get it? Yeah, remember, in milk, there are sugars in milk, the galactose in milk. So when you put it in a tight container, you cook it, there is no air getting in, that is, there is no oxygen. Then anaerobic respiration occurs, the bacteria will break down the sugars in milk, and in the process produces the lactic acid. Now the sour taste is the lactic acid in it. The process of fermentation or anaerobic respiration has occurred, and that knowledge has been applied in many places, in industries, production of bread, baking industries, biogas production, silage making, as we produce animal feeds. So it has been applied widely. Okay, so usually the lactic acid that is produced is toxic. It is not normally allowed to accumulate in the body, and the body will experience oxygen debt. We shall discuss oxygen debt in our next session. Now we shall finalize by looking at the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. What is the difference? But before that, we shouldn't confuse respiration with gaseous exchange, as some students do. They are different, though related. Okay, what is gaseous exchange? It is a passing of respiratory gases across a respiratory surface. As simple as that. Respiratory surface is blood, gills in fish, lungs in human beings, cell membrane in amoeba. Yes, remember respiratory gases, there are two respiratory gases, carbon dioxide and oxygen. As another one is diffusing in, another one is diffusing out. So that is gaseous exchange. I say they are related. How is gaseous exchange related to respiration? Respiration requires oxygen. So how does respiration occur without oxygen? It cannot occur without oxygen, except anaerobic, but for a short time. So gaseous exchange is good because it supplies oxygen that is used in respiration, but they are never the same. Okay, differences between aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic requires oxygen. Anaerobic occurs without oxygen. There is high amount of energy in aerobic, where one glucose molecule can produce up to 38 molecules of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, that is energy. There is low amount of energy in anaerobic respiration. One molecule of glucose produces about 2 ATP. Thirdly, substrate or the food substance is completely broken down into three products: energy, water, and carbon dioxide. But in anaerobic respiration, there is incomplete breakdown of substrate or food substance. So instead, we have ethanol or alcohol in plants and lactic acid in animals. Fourthly, aerobic respiration occurs in the cytoplasm and mitochondria. Cytoplasm, phase 1. What was the name of the first phase? Glycolysis. It occurs in the cytoplasm. Phase 2, which is Krebs cycle, occurs in the mitochondria. So it occurs in cytoplasm and mitochondria. Anaerobic respiration occurs only in the cytoplasm. The last difference, aerobic occurs in 2 stages. Name the 2 stages: glycolysis and Krebs cycle. Anaerobic respiration occurs in 1 stage. You can call it glycolysis. I told you glycolysis, phase 1 of aerobic, is the same as anaerobic respiration. Thank you so much. Welcome again.